Here. New York State United Teachers. I know we got some teachers here. SEIU 32BJ. The New York State Nurses Association. National Working Families. And hundreds of donors throughout the state who gave money to be able to fund this training this weekend. So I just wanted to welcome everybody to the Desmond in Albany. We're really excited to be here and give some context for what we're doing. There's something going on in America right now, and in New York State especially. We've done these trainings every year since 2010, and never have I seen so much energy and excitement to participate in this. We're in what we understand right now is a progressive moment. This is a moment where people all over the country are fed up and tired with wealth and power being concentrated at the top at the expense of workers. We're sick and tired of seeing money and politics drag our democracy through the mud, and a criminal justice system that is biased against far too many of our citizens. And in that moment, people have begun to organize. Grassroots movements and activism, whether it's Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter, or the Bernie Sanders campaign, or the Hillary Clinton campaign, have come together and organized in a massive way on their own in ways that I've been doing this work for 8 years now, and I've never seen anything like it. And so Working Families has committed ourselves to the notion that what we're going to do is make the folks who are organizing better organizers. We're going to train people who are running campaigns to run campaigns better. And we're going to train candidates who are progressive activists who see their activism, the next step of their activism, running for local office. And so a lot of this is part of our pipeline project. And I'm hoping everyone here has heard of our pipeline project. Yeah? This idea is that you take regular progressive activists who believe in a more just and equitable society, and you work with them and train them and develop them to run for local office, and we create a team all over New York State of progressives who truly believe and share our values who are inhabiting local office. And so this training this entire weekend is part of that. How do we make our movement stronger together? I just want to flag one thing for folks. A lot of people here are very passionate about the presidential primary. There are some folks who are very strong supporters of Bernie Sanders. There are some folks who are very strong supporters of Hillary Clinton. I would ask that people relegate those debates, not during the sessions. We'll have drinks and dinner and we can all talk about it. But during the sessions, I think it's important for folks to just recognize that we're all here based on our shared values and shared commitment towards a more just and equitable society. So just keep that in mind as we go. The only other thing I just want to flag it, everybody should have received a note about this, but we will have dinner tonight. You're on your own for breakfast tomorrow, but we got you for lunch and dinner. And then Aaron on Sunday. There is no breakfast on Sunday either, but we have you for lunch. So there's a restaurant here where you're all welcome to get breakfast. So with that, again, thank you everyone for being here. We're really excited, and I'm going to introduce Aaron Browning from Wellstone Action to take it over.
All right, cool. So on behalf of Wellstone Action, I should say I'm a principal in the political leadership team at Wellstone Action. So on behalf of our organization, we would like to welcome you to the weekend and thank you for the opportunity to work with you today on skills to help move the progressive movement forward. So I want, in addition to folks originally from Colorado, I want to find out for a second where people are all from inside New York or maybe even outside of New York. Who is from Albany proper in the room? Anybody? Yeah, all right. Who's from the city, New York City? Yeah, where else are people from? Lake Placid? Hudson Valley, I have no idea where that is. Rochester, I know where that is. Where from? Buffalo? Where else? Any place?
Sullivan County.
What's that?
Sullivan County.
I don't know where that is. Sullivan County. Is that far away? Who's the farthest away from where we are right now?
Long Island.
Yeah, we're in the way are you from?
Long Island.
Long Island? Is that the farthest away? Where are you from? Oh! Oh, we got one at least Puerto Rico? What's that? Oh, alright, you definitely win. Okay, see me at the break for special prizes for coming the farthest. Well, thank you. How many of you know who Paul Wellstone was? Okay, who was he?
He was my poli-sci professor at college.
He was your poli-sci professor at college. That is awesome. What else did he do?
Senator?
Oh, senator in the back, yeah?
He was supposed to be a presidential candidate.
Oh, he was supposed to be a presidential candidate. I haven't heard that one. He was a teacher. He was a teacher. Anybody know what sport he played in college? Wrestling, right? No, not that that matters as much. But he was a senator from Minnesota. He was also a community organizer that worked with low-income folks, working families, students, environmentalists, and farmers. He was a college professor for 20 years, and he was a mentor and friend to thousands of people. And Wellstone Action is named for Paul Wellstone and was set up, unfortunately, after his wife Sheila, their daughter, and 3 campaign staff died in a plane crash 10 days before the election in 2002. But coming out of that tragedy, rather than just have all of the good energy and money and support go into something temporary, folks came together and decided to create an organization as an institute that would go on to train the next generation of Paul Wellstones. And that's what we exist to do and have been doing since 2002, 2003. But for those of you who may not be as familiar with us as an organization, I'm going to show you a quick video.
Hi, I'm Paul Wellstone, and I'm running for the United States Senate from Minnesota. Unlike my opponent, I don't have $6 million, so I'm going to have to talk fast. This is my wife, Sheila, and our children. This is my house in Northville, where I've lived for 21 years. My son David farms, and I've worked with Minnesota farmers for years. We must stop.
Paul Wellstone was one of these extraordinary individuals who believed in the goodness of humankind. He had the capacity and the ability to say to all of us, keep going, keep moving, keep speaking up, keep speaking out, keep finding a way to get in the way.
Paul was authentic, and everyone knew it, and the issues that he had, so a lot of them were about improving people's lives.
Acting now, on our own, might be a sign of our power. Acting sensibly and in a measured way, in concert with our allies, with bipartisan congressional support, would be a sign of our strength.
I was really young, I was in college when they passed, and so I just remember seeing their spirit, particularly at Midnight Madness rallies when Paul would come down to the Labor Hall, and all these people would be just sort of tired and kind of ready to go out and do their thing, and Paul would come in and waving his arms like crazy, and everybody would get all excited.
We say that if it's the policy of the wealthy and the powerful, the policy of this administration, the policy of too many politicians, and the policy of banks to take away from have-nots and give to haves, that together we will not accept that policy, we cannot accept that policy, and we will defeat that policy as long as it takes.
He really was in touch with what was going on in people's lives.
I'm a Republican, but I'm supporting you. Not on the single issue.
I'm a Democrat, and I'm supporting you.
In this race, look at all the oil money and energy interest money that's coming into the state. I'm not a senator for the oil companies. I'm a senator that puts the state of Minnesota first and puts the environment first, and I will always be that kind of senator.
I think electoral politics without grassroots organizing is a politics without a base. And I think electoral politics and grassroots organizing without policy and program is a movement without a direction.
Wellstone Action is a direct outgrowth of the philosophy of Paul and Sheila Wellstone. Wellstone Action does the thing that's indispensable to do to build a progressive movement in this country, which is to train activists, train candidates, train people working on issues and ballot measures, and train campaign staff.
Wellstone is the good housekeeping mark for good politics, good campaigns, strong campaign managers. And so when I heard Wellstone, and I finally met someone from Wellstone, it almost was like going behind the curtain and meeting a wizard.
It's time that policy and electoral policies, the people that are in power, reflect our communities. And Wellstone is an amazing organization that focuses on that.
My two campaign managers came through Wellstone Action. That's how they learned their stuff. That's how I won my elections. That's how I've been able to keep fighting for the issues that Paul and Sheila cared so much about.
Wellstone Action does is important in terms of the passion that you all bring and in terms of the organizational skills you bring in. I don't mean to bring it to my race, except it just happened, so I guess I will. In Ohio this year, we had 65 full-time organizers. We had $40 million spent against us by an outside money, but we knew the way to win was a strong, aggressive message, and that's what Wellstone Action, that's what you do.
It's exciting for me to be able to go learn, stuff that you can't get anywhere else. I mean, that's very, very obvious. It's quite clear that that's how people in the industry regard Wellstone. But actually, a lot of it was for me how we're going to bring these kind of cultural traditions of community organizing, grassroots organizing, and electoral work together. I think that that's something that absolutely has to happen if the left is going to move forward in a successful way in the future. And I intend to do this for the rest of my life, so we need to get it right.
Wellstone Action is out there making a real difference. And the principal way they make a real difference, they get up and fight for what they believe in. You can't win if you don't fight. And Wellstone Action knows how to be effective because they know how to fight.
We've come a long way in the past 10 years, and we've accomplished a lot that we're proud of, and that we hope Wellstones will be proud of too. And in some ways, we know we've accomplished some things that they might not have been able to imagine in their lifetimes. But we're not slowing down. And at Wellstone Action, the folks on our team, they get up every day and they carry Paul and Sheila with them in their hearts. They hear them in their ears, reminding them that there's still a lot of work to do. So we're going to keep at it.
I can continue to say, and more importantly by my actions, convey to young people and everywhere in Minnesota that politics is indeed not about money and power games, but the improvement of people's lives.
All right, so that's a little bit more about that. To be with you this afternoon, and